After a streak of Sony superhero flops, DC's Joker struggles, and just one MCU movie last year, the next couple of years, 2025 and 2026, are shaping up to be way better than 2024, and it's not just Marvel and DC, there's plenty more on the way. So, let's dive into the upcoming superhero madness. Captain America Brave New World, February 14th, 2025. After tons of reshoots, Sam Wilson is finally stepping into the role of Captain America in Captain America Brave New World, the second to last film in MCU's Phase 5. This is a big moment for Cap's legacy, especially since Captain America 4 was teased at the end of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's where we saw Sam, played by Anthony Mackie, take on the Shield. After Steve Rogers retired in Avengers Endgame, the Disney Plus series focused on Sam wrestling with whether he should carry on Steve's legacy. Now, Brave New World is Sam's chance to prove he's the right guy for the job, especially with major threats like the MCU's Red Hulk on the horizon. The first trailer kicks off with a gripping scene in the White House, showing Sam in a heated exchange with newly elected President Thaddeus Ross. This marks Harrison Ford's MCU debut as Ross, stepping into the role after William Hurt's passing. Sam and Ross have a bit of history. Back when Ross was Secretary of State, he had Sam and the Avengers locked up during Captain America Civil War. Now, as president, Ross is trying to team up with Sam, pitching the idea of making Captain America an official military role. Things take a messy turn when Sam gets tangled in an international incident, with retired super soldier Isaiah Bradley, played by Carl Lumbly, as the main suspect. The trailer wraps up with a high-stakes chase and a showdown, hinting at the arrival of Red Hulk. A big surprise in the trailer is Shira Haas as a new version of Ruth Bat Seraph, with Sabra now reimagined as a former Black Widow. Marvel's 2024 San Diego Comic-Con panel brought even more exciting details about Captain America Brave New World. Fans got their first glimpse of President Ross transforming into Red Hulk and the introduction of adamantium into the MCU. In this version, adamantium is tied to the bodies of Celestials. Adamantium is a game-changer in the MCU, opening up some huge possibilities. It's a key material for so many Marvel heroes and villains, especially Wolverine, whose story revolves around it. This could even set the stage for an Earth-616 version of Logan. While it might not happen while Hugh Jackman is still playing Wolverine, who knows? We might even get a surprise Logan cameo in Captain America Brave New World. San Diego Comic-Con also confirmed another exciting casting. Giancarlo Esposito will play Sidewinder, the leader of the Serpent Society from the comics, in an upcoming MCU movie. One of the coolest surprises in Captain America Brave New World is the return of Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns, aka the Leader. Fans haven't seen him since 2008's The Incredible Hulk, where his transformation into the villain was teased. Another exciting comeback is Liv Tyler as Betty Ross, announced in March 2023. Danny Ramirez is also back as Joaquin Torres, following his comic arc by stepping up as the new Falcon. Meanwhile, Shira Haas is bringing a fresh take to Ruth Bat Seraph, aka Sabra, reimagined as a former Black Widow. Zosha Rockmore is joining the cast too, but her role is still a mystery. Fun fact: the movie's original title was New World Order, which ties back to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's the name of the show's first episode, where Sam finally takes up the mantle of Captain America in the finale. This connection makes sense, since Malcolm Spellman, the showrunner for the series, is also the head writer for this movie. One wild possibility for this movie is the appearance of Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, but not the version we know and love. Instead, we could see him as Captain Hydra, also known as Hydra Supreme. This version of Steve is a dark, fascist twist on the character, where he takes over Hydra and dominates the country. According to Deadline, Evans is set to appear in an unspecified role in Avengers Doomsday, but there's a chance he could make an earlier debut as Captain Hydra in Brave New World, setting the stage for bigger conflicts down the line. If this happens, it would be a mind-bending twist and a bold move for the MCU. Thunderbolts, May 2nd, 2025. Marvel's Thunderbolts is set to be the MCU's first villain team-up movie, something fans have speculated about for years. So what's Thunderbolts all about? This film will be Marvel's first villain team-up movie, and it's packing an impressive cast. We've got Bucky Barnes, Yelena Belova, John Walker, Ghost, and Red Guardian all under the leadership of the enigmatic Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. There have been some recent changes to the lineup. Ayo Edebiri and Stephen Yeun had to step away due to scheduling conflicts, but don't worry, Geraldine Viswanathan and Lewis Pullman are stepping into their roles. Pullman's character, known as Bob, has sparked some speculation. Given the comic book background, many fans are wondering if he might be playing Sentry, a character with some serious power and potential. Thunderbolts was originally set for a holiday 2024 release, but has now moved to May 2025. This change places it between Captain America: Brave New World and the Fantastic Four. The film's release date has shifted a few times, but now it's in a prime spot to wrap up Phase 5, setting up exciting things for Phase 6. The film is expected to have a Suicide Squad-like vibe, with the team being a bit morally ambiguous. The Thunderbolts will likely start out at odds with each other, but as they face off against new threats, they might just come together as a cohesive unit. Early footage from San Diego Comic-Con suggests that the team will be introduced through a series of conflicts before finding their common ground. One of the intriguing aspects of Thunderbolts is its connection to previous Marvel storylines. The movie will likely tie into Black Widow, given the presence of Yelena, Red Guardian, and Taskmaster. We've seen hints that the film will continue some of the threads from those stories, and may even pay homage to Natasha Romanoff. The asterisk in the title has left fans scratching their heads. While Marvel has been tight-lipped about its meaning, it's clear that it's intentional. Some speculate it might reference an in-movie event or a twist that will unfold as the story progresses. We'll have to wait until the film's release to find out exactly what it signifies. Right now, the film feels most connected to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Black Widow. Superman, July 11, 2025. A lot of details have been revealed about Superman, the first movie in the rebooted DC Universe. After James Gunn and Peter Safran became co-CEOs of DC Studios in November 2022, they shared their plans for the new DC Universe in January 2023. With The Flash resetting the DC Universe, Gunn's new vision will expand across film, TV, and video games, starting with Creature Commandos and Superman, where a new actor will take on the role of Kal-El. Following the success of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and the premiere of Creature Commandos, excitement for Superman has been building. While Superman has been a cinematic icon since Max Fleischer's 1940s animated shorts, this new Superman will tell a fresh story for the Man of Steel, continuing the legacy of a hero that Gunn sees as a huge priority, if not the biggest priority, for DC Studios. The latest news about Superman revolves around some minimal reshoots, as reported by The Hollywood Reporter. James Gunn addressed this, confirming that only a day and a half of pickup shots were needed, with no full reshoots taking place. As post-production for Superman moves forward, the focus is now on the upcoming trailer. While there hasn't been an official trailer release yet, there have been hints that it's coming soon. James Gunn teased in a mid-November interview with Omelette, saying, "It won't be too long," when asked about the trailer's release. Frank Grillo, who plays Rick Flag Sr., mentioned in a Collider interview that he'd seen a sneak peek of the trailer and was blown away by it. He shared, "I got a sneak peek at a little bit of the trailer and I'm not joking, and I'm not blowing this out of proportion. My skin was hot and I had goosebumps. That's how great it is." In addition to David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan, several other exciting actor castings for Superman have been announced in recent months. Anthony Kerrigan will play Metamorpho, Eddie Cathegi will portray Mr. Terrific, Nathan Fillion has been cast as Green Lantern Guy Gardner, Isabella Merced will take on the role of Hawkgirl, and Maria Gabriela Di Faria will play the Engineer. The casting of the Engineer is particularly notable, as the character is part of The Authority, which suggests that other members of the team could appear, potentially setting up their own DCU movie. The Hollywood Reporter revealed that Skylar Gisondo will play Jimmy Olsen, and Sarah Sampaio has been cast as Eve Teschmacher, Lex Luthor's assistant. Wendell Pierce will portray Perry White, the Daily Planet's editor-in-chief, and Clark Kent's boss. As for one of Superman's most iconic villains, Lex Luthor, a November 2023 Deadline report revealed that Nicholas Hoult was the forerunner for the role, which was later confirmed by James Gunn on Threads. With Lex confirmed as the main villain, this role will give Hoult the opportunity to showcase his villainous chops once again, following his standout performances in The Great and The Menu. 2024 later brought several other casting announcements, including Pruitt Taylor Vince as Jonathan Kent and Neva Howell as Martha Kent, with both actors seeming perfectly set to play the warm parental figures that played such a crucial role in making Superman into the DC hero that he becomes. June 2024 also saw Michaela Hoover and Christopher McDonald be added to the Superman cast, set to play Daily Planet reporters Cat Grant and Ron Troop. Beck Bennett is also set to appear in the movie, with James Gunn confirming the actor will play another Daily Planet reporter, this time taking on the role of Steve Lombard. Finally, Terrence Rosemore has been cast as a somewhat mysterious character known only as Otis, who is theorized to be the henchman of the same name who has previously served as Lex Luthor's henchman. The Fantastic Four, July 25, 2025. The Fantastic Four: First Steps is marking the second reboot of the Fantastic Four franchise, but for MCU this time. Directed by Matt Shakman, the film have Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards' Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm Human Torch, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm the Thing. The story is set in a 1960s-inspired retro-futuristic Earth, where the Fantastic Four must defend their planet from Galactus, a cosmic entity, and his herald, the Silver Surfer. This film departs from the traditional origin story of the team, offering a fresh take on their adventures. The cast also includes Ralph Ineson as Galactus, Julia Garner as Shalla-Bal Silver Surfer, and Paul Walter Hauser, with notable actors like John Malkovich, Natasha Lyonne, and Sarah Niles. The film is expected to tease the character of Mole Man, and Robert Downey Jr. will make a post-credits appearance as Dr. Doom. Avengers 5, May 1, 2026. Avengers Doomsday is set to release on May 1, 2026, marking the return of the Avengers to the big screen for the first time since Endgame. 2024's Marvel panel at the San Diego Comic-Con brought some truly surprising MCU news to us shortly after Deadpool and Wolverine's release, with it unveiled that not only was Robert Downey Jr. returning to the franchise, but that he would be playing none other than Dr. Doom. While this is certainly a concept that carries with it some major risks, the combination of the Russo brothers and RDJ coming back together seems one that can pull off what might otherwise seem impossible, as Infinity War and Endgame can attest. But to make this even more interesting, as I told you before, Chris Evans is making his much anticipated return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Avengers Doomsday. Marvel's multiverse storytelling opens the door for Evans to potentially return as an alternate version of Steve Rogers, especially since Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson will be taking on the mantle of Captain America. This return will be Evans' official MCU comeback, although he already made a brief appearance in 2024 in Deadpool and Wolverine as Johnny Storm, reprising his role from the early 2000s Fantastic Four films. Masters of the Universe live action, June 5, 2026. The live-action Masters of the Universe movie has finally found its He-Man, Nicholas Galitzine, who you might recognize from Red, White, and Royal Blue, and Marion George, is set to play the iconic hero. According to Variety, Galitzine will be wielding the power sword in the film, which is being produced by Amazon MGM Studios. After years of delays and development issues, the movie is finally moving forward. Travis Knight, who directed Bumblebee, is taking the helm, and the script comes from Chris Butler, known for Paranorman. Julie Rappaport from Amazon MGM Studios expressed her excitement, saying they're thrilled to bring Masters of the Universe to life and that Galitzine will make an epic He-Man. Though Masters of the Universe was the first toy-based property from the 80s to get a live-action adaptation, it has faced plenty of setbacks. The 1987 film, starring Dolph Lundgren, flopped and didn't lead to a sequel. Over the years, several directors, including Mick G. and John Chu, were attached, but nothing worked out. A recent Netflix version with Kyle Allen as He-Man was canceled after $30 million was spent on development. But now, this movie is finally happening. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, June 26, 2026. The DC Universe will introduce Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, marking the character's second live-action film appearance. Her first was way back in 1984. This movie is shaping up to be a major highlight in the new DC Universe, and there's a lot to be excited about. First off, we have some thrilling casting news. Millie Alcock, known for her impressive role in House of the Dragon, is stepping into the role of Kara Zor-El. Fans are already buzzing about Alcock's casting, and it's easy to see why. Her previous performances have shown she can handle complex characters with depth and charisma. It's clear she's ready to bring a vibrant and engaging version of Supergirl to the big screen. So what's the movie about? Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is expected to explore a darker, more intense side of Kara Zor-El. Unlike the typical light-hearted superhero stories, this film will delve into Supergirl's challenging past. James Gunn, who's steering the ship for DC Studios, promises that this version of Supergirl is far from the usual portrayal. She's someone who has seen a lot of hardship, losing everyone around her before even arriving on Earth. Sounds intense, right? The film is set to release on June 26, 2026, so we've got a bit of a wait ahead. But the excitement is already building. The movie will kick off a new chapter for Supergirl, who hasn't had the spotlight she deserves since the 1984 film, which didn't quite hit the mark. Fans of the character have been waiting for a proper big-screen adaptation, and this movie could finally deliver that. James Gunn has made it clear that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow will be a fresh take on the character. Anna Nogueira is handling the screenplay, and her work has already received high praise from Gunn. Nogueira's script promises to be both unique and true to the spirit of the original comic. The film will likely draw heavily from Tom King's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic, which has been well received for its compelling story. One interesting detail is that while Supergirl might not cross paths with Superman in this movie, the differences between the two characters will be highlighted. Gunn has hinted that we'll see how Supergirl's upbringing contrasts with Superman's, adding a new layer to both characters' stories. There's even a chance Superman might make a cameo, though nothing is confirmed yet. With production ramping up, we've already seen some hints about what to expect. Millie Alcock's casting has been met with approval, and her previous work suggests she's more than ready for this role. The story's focus on Supergirl's intense past and her unique story promises a fresh and engaging superhero film that's set to expand the DC Universe in new and exciting ways. The film will likely explore Supergirl's struggle to adjust to life on Earth, a theme that's familiar in superhero stories but has the potential for a unique and deep character arc. Spider-Man 4, July 24, 2026. Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 is set to hit theaters just a couple of months after Avengers Doomsday's May 2026 release. The movie will follow in the footsteps of Spider-Man Far From Home, which came out shortly after Avengers Endgame. Holland confirmed that production on the fourth film will start in mid-2025, saying it's all set to go and that he's super excited about it. Holland also mentioned that he's read a draft of the script, which still needs some tweaking, but he's confident the writers are doing a great job. He explained that with Marvel films, fitting into the larger MCU timeline is always a challenge, but the team is up for it. While it's not confirmed yet, there's no word on whether Zendaya will return as MJ. Destin Daniel Cretton, known for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, will take over directing from John Watts, who directed the previous Spider-Man trilogy. Cretton was originally set to direct Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, but that project has since been reworked into Avengers: Doomsday. For now, Spider-Man 4 is his top priority. Despite past tensions between Marvel Studios and Sony, the two companies managed to work things out, and after the success of No Way Home, it's clear Spider-Man will continue to be a big part of the MCU. The Batman 2, October 2, 2026. Filming for The Batman Part 2 is expected to begin next year, but a recent update suggests that things may be running a bit behind schedule. While the film was initially slated for release in October 2025, it was pushed to October 2026 due to the 2023 actors and writers strikes. Although reports in September 2024 stated that the script was complete and production was set to begin in early 2025, DC Studios head James Gunn recently stated that the script is not finished yet. This aligns with new information about Robert Pattinson's schedule, as he's also signed on for a role in Christopher Nolan's upcoming movie, which begins production in the first half of 2025. With the release date still over a year away, there's enough time for filming to start by mid-2025 and meet the October 2026 release. Despite some concerns, there's no truth to the rumor that The Batman Part 2 has been cancelled, as James Gunn debunked that claim. The film will exist outside of Gunn's new DCU franchise, with Robert Pattinson continuing in his role as Batman. So be reassured that director Matt Reeves is taking the necessary time to ensure the script is top-notch, which will hopefully be worth the wait. Well, that's it. Let me know which movie you think will be the blockbuster in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies. We'll see you next time.